Hello everyone and welcome to the Fusing Shop channel. First, I'd like to give a shout out to @SanchezGlass on Instagram. You could follow him at the address listed there, who sent in this really cool Sherlock bubbler that he made following one of our tutorial videos. I'll link that in the description below. And next, I'd like to just give a shout out to myself and my Patreon page, which you can see here. We got a bunch of videos on there, and I'm constantly posting more, so keep an eye on that. You guys could check that out. I'll link it in the description below as well, and you could get access to those additional videos. And now on to today's video, which is making a junk cane. Pretty much this is using any scrap color glass that you have, or clear glass too, depending on what you have around. This, I have a fume piece of clear that I'm going to be using. And here I have a wonky reticello that did not work out, so I'm going to be throwing that in there as well. And a couple other colored scraps that I have. I have a bunch of color, and when I do this, I try to pick contrasting colors. And I really like using the fume pieces because you never really know what you're going to get. Like life is like a box of chocolates, you never know what you're going to get. The same thing with the fume pieces. So yeah, I like to just mix it up a little bit. I got some blues in there, some light blues, some dark blues, some fume, and just searching my giant pot of color scraps for anything else that looks good. And there's no real science to the color. I have a color wheel that I keep next to me because I'm like not so good with color. And I use that as a cheat sheet. And that is a great way to, great tool to use to figure out which colors go together. All right, so on to the video. I jumped ahead because you didn't need to watch me pick out every scrap of glass that I'm going to be using here. Yep, make sure you get your glasses on first. Very important. Next, I'm just going to be fusing these two pieces together. I just have your standard 10mm clear rod, and I'm getting these two nice and juicy hot. And tip is to use tweezers. Tweezers when you do this, because I'm about to burn myself right now. And yes, please hit this video with a quick thumbs up. Greatly appreciate it. And thank you for supporting the Fusing Shop and the Fusing Shop channel. And again, don't forget to check out the Patreon page when you get a second. Okay. So, yeah, definitely use tweezers when you're putting on pieces of glass, especially when they're smaller pieces like I have here. Definitely have something between the glass and your fingers. You do not want your fingers getting in the flame. And that one, just licked my finger, but you still feel it. So yeah, protect yourself, people. You don't need to get burnt. There's no reason for it. Make sure your tweezers do not go in the flame. If you're doing this, my tweezers look like they're in the flame from the shop, but they're actually outside. And just heat up that next piece and just tack it on. When I'm doing this, I try to keep the shape as balanced as possible. This way, when you go to melt it down at the end, you have less shaping and straightening and smushing and pulling to do. Our end goal is to make this round and the same diameter. And right when we get started here, it's just like pretty much putting chunks of glass together and pretty much any which way you get them. And just putting in a lot of heat in there and keep rotate. And again, there's no method to how I'm putting these pieces on. I'm just picking them up at random and sticking them in random places, trying to fill in any gaps that I see. You could also fold over the scraps or, smash them into shape if you need as well. And now just putting in some heat, letting that all melt together. Right now the glass is super stressed out, so we want to take out that stress and get everything to melt together and be one solid mass. And when it's like this, it's very easy to crack. So right now, like I said, the glass is super stressed out, and we want to make the glass happy. Hot glass is happy glass, so keep that in mind. You don't want to shock it or do anything else like that as you're adding your scraps. And here comes our last scrap. Just going to heat up the end, get it nice and juicy hot, so we get hot, seal it on with the rest. The main goal at this point is to just get your pieces of glass on, and as close to center as you can get them right now. I'm going to be puntying up to this in a second, and it gets way easier once you could use 2 hands to work with the glass. So just put some heat in there. Make sure you heat the end where the glass is attached. You don't want that to break off on you. And make sure there's a good hot seal between that. And then just go up and down. Try to get a nice even heat in there. I'm going to be using my marver to help smush the glass together and help even it out. And right now it looks, oh, see, like I said, I just broke my punty off. No problem. It broke off on the marver, which works for me. It's going to hold it there while I reheat and just stick it back on. Okay. Right now this looks like a giant hot mess, and that's okay. That's the way it's going to look for a little bit. I did leave timestamps for you guys in the description below, so if you want to skip around the video to see how this cane comes out, you could do that. Or you could just sit back, relax, and watch how it forms into, watch how this project takes shape. Right now I did attach that other punty, and you do want these both to be hot sealed on because we're going to be pulling and pushing and twisting the glass. So we need these punties to be nice and secure. To do a hot seal punty, in case you have not seen my other videos on how to do it, you make sure you get the glass like a nice orange glow, and both ends need to have that nice orange glow when you touch them together in the flame, and then you should be good to go with a nice hot seal. The glass should flow together into one solid piece if you did it correctly. If there's like a line or like any kind of wonkiness, then you should reheat it and make sure that the pieces flow together. And right now I'm going to be heating up that where it's thickest, I should say, and just helping condense that down and even it out with the rest of the glass, and just have nice even rotations. This project is great when you're just learning to work with glass because there's so many techniques you can learn just by doing this, and you're not really losing anything because you're just using scrap glass anyway. So there's really no harm in trying it out. And you're not investing in tons of expensive color tubing or anything. So this is just a great way to get used to working with color and making something that is usable with it. So yeah, just get that nice and warm. Keep rotating it and heating it and looking where the glass needs to go. You want to push it together where it's thinner and pull it out where it's thicker. And continue to roll it on the marver because our end goal is to make this round. And you can see it's starting to get rounder as we go along. And that's exactly what we want to see. And just keep heating up. I'm going to again heat up where it's thickest now. And this teaches you many different things like I was saying before. It teaches you where to put the heat and how the glass moves. And you know, how to make something even when it's really uneven, and again this happens a ton in glasswork, and how to make something thicker if it's thinned out too much, and also how to have even rotation with your hands and how to make twists if you want to make twists. So you're learning so many different things with just doing this one exercise. And it's super fun because you never know what the cane is going to look like when you're done, which is awesome. Sometimes you get ones that are amazingly beautiful, and sometimes not. And there's so many things you can use this cane for. You could use them for pendants. You could use them for marbles. I do have a junk marble video already on my YouTube channel. You guys could check that out, where I just use, again, like color scrap like this and make a marble. Pendants, you could use it to decorate like tubing, pull it out for stringers. You could use it for stems for goblets, which I have done for my kids before. So yeah, you could, whatever you can imagine. If you guys have more ideas, leave them for me in the comments below. I always like hearing from you guys and your thoughts, and I love the pictures too, guys. So please, by all means, if you have something you like featured in a video, you could email me at yourock@thefusingshop.com, YOUROCK @thefusingshop.com. And while I am melting and rotating the glass, let's do our dad joke for this video. And it is, how can you double your money? By folding it in half. That is a terrible piece of financial advice right there, people. But good stuff anyway. Right now, again, I'm just working on getting those thicker pieces thinned out and the thinner pieces thickened up. And we're going to just be pulling and twisting a little bit as this starts to round off. You can see how that giant mass of glass is now shaping up into a nice rod. And just, it's not a long process to do this, but it does take some time. And be patient with it and with the glass. Sometimes it'll crack on you. The colors might not be compatible, so you got to experiment a little bit with this. Just love how that molten glass looks when it's like super hot like that. Right now I'm just putting some twists in there and trying to get it nice and even. And we are getting close to done with this project. You can see how that's shaped up really nicely into a nice rod. And I'm going to show you at the end all the different colors that are in there. And one of my favorite things to do is to make this using just scrap fume pieces, because this just comes out so cool. And you get so many different effects with that. Right now, I'm still continuing to shape the rod and just get it as even as possible. Again, another good exercise is getting that glass nice and even. And you want to make sure everything's melted in nice, and you don't want to have any air bubbles when you do this. So if you are melting down scrap tubing, you have to make sure you smush out any air bubbles. This way, the glass is nice and happy. Air bubbles in your glass have the potential to crack it. Oh, and another note is to make sure you anneal the cane before you go ahead and use it, because it's going to be very unstable when you first finish it. So you're going to want to make sure you put that in the kiln and run it through an annealing cycle. This way you take all that stress out of the glass that you put in it, because just this process in general is highly stressful on the glass. I know I mentioned that before, but it's worth mentioning again, as well as please hit the subscribe button to my channel. That is also worth mentioning as well. And I greatly appreciate your guys' support. Thank you so much for all the people who have subscribed already and are part of the Fusing Shop community. You guys are awesome, and I can't thank you enough for all the kindness that you've shown me. I just recently, started this channel about a year ago, but, it's just so cool hearing everyone's feedback and comments. So thank you guys so much for that and supporting me and my family. So yeah. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. And again, just continuing to work the cane and make it nice and even. You can see how it's coming along and shaping up already. It's looking more like a glass rod rather than a bunch of junk glass. And it all depends on how thick you want to make these or how thin. If you want to, use them for stringers, then you can pull them out nice and thin. You want to really make sure that they're as close to round as possible if you're using it for stringers, though. For me, it's easy to just, knock off marbles off of this rod. I could just, make a gather, round it off, make another gather, round that off. And you can make marbles relatively quickly using this kind of cane, which is awesome and super fun. And you get so many different types of random marbles, which is, I don't know. I love making marbles. It's one of my favorite things to make. Okay, looking pretty good. Just putting some more finishing touches on here. smushing that glass together because it was beginning to get thinned out on me. Don't be afraid to take your glass out of the flame if you're losing control of it. You want to always maintain control of the glass, or else it starts to do things that you don't want it to do. You don't want the glass to, take control in this situation. You want to make sure you keep steady hands and even rotations, and just get it as even as you can when you do this. My glass is not perfectly even, and that's okay. You could always go back in, reheat, and reshape if you need to. So one nice thing about doing this technique is that there's really no wrong way to do it, as long as you're working in a safe manner. Then you should be good to go. Waiting for that glass to stiffen up a little bit. We're going to flame cut off the end. And I'm going to show you guys how this came out. There we go. Just make sure you flame cut in the flame. And here is the final product. It's really hard, guys, to get this in the camera. I try my best. To do this. But you can see the fume in there. You can see the blue in there. You can see that like grayish kind of glass in there. And I think it came out really cool. This is what the fume came in the middle. Came out amazing. That was just some junk pieces of fume that I had laying around. And yeah, just the other ones are some other random blues and purples and stuff that we just melted down and twisted together. Thank you guys so much for checking out the video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.